said his administration has been able to promote unity in the state.
In this state before, all you see, all you hear, you're so detribalized, they are so tribalized that you're from this upland, you're from this riverine. And so people were not doing things as if we were one rivers. So we believe that one way we must achieve, if we see ourselves as one, and once that is done, then we are moved to the next step. So today, I am concerned that that issue of upland and riverine is no longer necessary. We see ourselves as one river state.
The governor noted that the River State has made tremendous progress in the last 3 years as a result of prioritizing project execution.
Our concern is to make sure that we use the economy, the potentials of the state for the greater interest of our people by turning around what we have or what we used to have. Our concern has always been, one, unite the state as it is today. Two, making sure that River State takes its rightful position in the committee of states in this country.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, has inaugurated a panel of inquiry in Abuja to investigate claims by a former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Theophilus Danjuma, retired, that the armed forces were colliding with the herdsmen in Taraba State to perpetuate the killing and destruction of communities. Buratai, after inaugurating the committee headed by Major General John Nimiel, retired, said Danjuma's claim could damage the reputation of the military and could therefore not be ignored. You will recall that Danjuma had said on March 24th at the convocation of the Taraba State University Jalingo that Nigerians must defend themselves against the killer herdsmen as the armed forces are not ready to defend them. A group under the aegis of the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria and its affiliates has urged the Nigerian Army to extend its Operation Cat Race by 60 days to enable the military effectively tackle insecurity in some parts of the country. The group, at a media conference held in Abuja, sought the approval of President Muhammadu Buhari in the extension of the exercise.
When this crisis started, most of the community cried out that the presidency is quiet, the military is quiet, everybody is quiet. What is happening? Are there no people to secure us anymore? Our lives are not secured. And the government responded immediately by instituting this operation.
If it's extended, there will be a leeway towards the communities coming together.
Most of the community cried out that the presidency is quiet, the military is quiet, everybody is quiet. What is happening? Are there no people to secure us anymore? Our lives are not secured. And the government responded immediately by instituting this operation.
If it's extended, there will be a leeway towards the communities coming together and interface with the security agencies. As it is, there's an established cordial relationship between the Nigerian military and the community, the host community, which has been affected by most of the crisis.
Operation Cartrace is a military exercise launched in February to tackle security issues at flashpoints in Benue, Kaduna, Niger, Nasarawa, and Taraba states. Edo State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has backed calls by the former governor, Adams Oshiomhole, on President Muhammadu Buhari to adopt a ruthless measure against the alleged looters. During an interview with journalists, Oshiomhole advised President Buhari not to show mercy to alleged looters, all on the president, and that the president should start with him. Reacting, Oshiomhole said he had no case to answer anywhere in the world, as he claimed innocence in all ramifications. A man has been hit by a car at the Ikorodu Expressway. The victim was hit while trying to cross the express by a bike and run over by an oncoming car that drove off immediately, leaving the man unconscious on the floor. The victim was in critical condition as at the time Superscreen news crew got to the scene, while men of the Lagos State Emergency Service can be seen rendering first aid services to him. Respondent who witnessed the accident gave an eyewitness account.
What happened was that the victim was trying to cross the express, not using the pedestrian bridge. So as he was trying to cross, there was a motorbike that hit the man while he was trying to cross. The motorbike and the car ran away. So the man was there lying down on the road. He rallied around him just to make sure that the man is still alive. They tried to resuscitate him there, and he's recuperating, he's responding to treatment.
What I noticed was they were carrying an elderly man, rushing him to the police station, and I had to find out what happened. I learned that he was being knocked down by a power bike, and the power bike did not wait. The power bike drove off.
I think the man was coming from traveling, so he was carrying a gari with a traveling bag. So as he was crossing the express, I think he has beat the trailer, the long trailer. So the next distance to catch for the bike. So the bike just hit him.
To utilize the pedestrian bridge, which coincidentally is just a few meters away from the scene of the accident.
There's actually a bridge. I don't think anybody should be crossing the road because there's a bridge. Though the bridge is kind of stressful, you climbing due to the way the construction was being done, but there is a bridge. Nigerians should learn how to use the pedestrian bridge.
Nigerian people are too stubborn. I don't know, because I don't know who. Every time they know there's a barbed wire here, they always call the barbed wire. We don't know who. Responsible for that. So maybe they should place a policeman or anybody just to watch over this area.
The bridge here is an old bridge. Maybe the government can help us to modernize the bridge so that it will be easily accessible for pedestrians to cross the express. What was done at Ododubega, if they could do the replica here, it will go a long way to save souls and lives.
I would tell people that this express is not good for crossing. It's not okay at all. Because some cars are there that will be coming, they will just put on a one light. So they won't know maybe it's a car or a bike. The iron is not fit here because all these area boys, all these stout boys, they always break the iron. And when they break the iron, people will start crossing the express. What may I suggest is that maybe they should do the one they did at Mile 12, or the rock on, the one they did at Mile 12. Maybe they should put it here because this place is not easy. It's not easy at all.
Now, following recent protests by street sweepers in Benin City over non-payment of 6 months' salaries, the Edo State government has reiterated its commitment and commitment to redoubling efforts at sustaining waste management in the state. State Governor Godwin Obaseki, who was represented by the Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu, disclosed this during the flag-off of the revitalized environmental sanitation geared towards making Edo State the cleanest in Lagos, Nigeria.
The renewed effort by the state government with the local government, collaboration with the private sector, is to enforce with vigor all the laws that will make our environment safe for all of us.
To ensure that the people live in a very healthy environment. Like I have promised the market women, we are trying to evacuate completely all the waste from the market, so that there will be conducive environment for buying and selling.
On the spot, the waste management consultant to the state government, Ola Oreseyon, said one major responsibility of government is to ensure the will and the well-being of the people, a view corroborated by others.
This is one of the major key components of the social contract signed by the people, by the government and with the people of Edo State to ensure that the well-being of the people starts with a good health.
We are not going to declare the environmental day and say people should not move around. We are doing this as people are going about doing their business.
The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, says the death toll from the Lassa fever disease ravaging the country since the beginning of the year has risen to 101. The health agency, as at April 8, says a total of 408 cases of the disease have been confirmed from 20 states where the disease has been active. Among these 20 states, Edo, Ondo, and Ebonyi states has the highest with reported cases. The NCDC epidemiological report for week 14 since the disease started shows 408 cases have been classified as confirmed and 9 probable cases, including 101 deaths. A virological expert, Oyewale Tomori, in a statement on Lassa fever, called on the government to find a lasting solution to curb the disease. He called on the federal government to take more responsibility in combating the disease, as corruption is one of the factors hindering the fight of Lassa fever. The federal government, through the Ministry of Education, Adamu, says it has constituted a 16-man committee to screen over 40,000 degrees claimed to have been obtained from the Nigerian students who studied in foreign institutions. The Minister of Education, Adamu, who inaugurated the committee in Abuja, said the screening by the committee is necessary to detect cases of fake foreign degrees obtained, particularly from substandard institutions in Africa and beyond. Adamu made the remarks at the 33rd meeting of the National Standard Committee on Evaluation and Accreditation of Foreign Qualifications. According to a preliminary assessment by the Ministry of Education, no fewer than 40,000 Nigerians are either holding such certificates or currently studying in various tertiary institutions abroad. Still to come on Superscreen News at 12, we have business and foreign as well as sports stories. Stay with us. Welcome back, and now for some business stories. The organized labor, which presented fresh demands for the new national minimum wage of workers to the tripartite committee, says the 56,000 naira earlier presented is no longer feasible. General Secretary, Nigeria Labour Congress, Peter Ozoeson, who disclosed this to journalists, said the Congress took a position when it made the initial demand on the government, which is almost 2 years back. But after it got to the tripartite committee, the committee called on all stakeholders involved to submit a memorandum. Responding to the request for a memorandum, he said the Congress then used current economic indices to make fresh demands, which, after using the current economic table and data of the nation, Congress came to maintain that it is in the memorandum submitted to Tripartite Committee that it is not a public figure to be disclosed. The Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has announced that the Transmission Company of Nigeria and the Niger Delta Power Holding Company were set to inaugurate over 190 electricity transmissions and distribution projects across the country in a few weeks. Fashola said the government is investing in the expansion of the transmission capacity through the TCN by building more substations and expanding existing ones. He said there are over 90 TCN projects for transmission expansion, which the TCN will be inaugurating nationwide in the next few weeks. Now, the civil society and community-based organization CSOS has urged President Muhammadu Buhari not to sign the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill into law as passed by the National Assembly. In a statement made available to journalists in Abuja, CSOS said there is inherent gaps and dangers in the moves to sign the PIGB into law, as it is fraught with the defects in the areas of environmental protection. The groups pointed out that the bill, deliberate silence of the bill on the outlawing of gas flaring with a definite date, is a major setback for the environment and to the people of Niger State, who have been subjected to gas intoxication through gas flaring for decades. The CSOS said lawmakers should use the opportunity created by the petroleum legal regimes to put an end to the decades of the deplorable practices of gas flaring that have put Nigeria in the hall of environmental shame. The Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) Executive Vice Chairman Professor Umar Dambata says MTN Nigerian Communications has so far paid 165 billion naira out of the 330 billion imposed on them. Dambata disclosed this while hosting some MTN directors who paid him a courtesy visit in Abuja after a board strategy meeting. He said the National Frequency Management Council has decided the firm should retain the controversial frequency it acquired from the National Broadcasting Commission for 30 billion naira. Dambata maintained the frequency must be used for telecommunication services rather than for broadcast services. You will recall that the NCC had in October 2015 imposed a fine of 1.4 trillion naira on MTN for irregularly construction and registration of subscribers. However, after prolonged negotiations with both the regulatory agency and the federal government, the company had the fine reduced to 330 billion naira. You're watching Superscreen News at 12. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll take some foreign stories and some sports news. Stay with us.